Well, let's talk about a storm that has rattled the world of academia. American University, Harvard, is in direct firing line of US President Donald Trump. He is accusing them of promoting campus wokeness and also threatening national values. What is the fallout? Well, there has been sweeping crackdown that could ban foreign students, leaving 788 Indian scholars stranded in uncertainty. A 72-hour ultimatum that has been issued along with 6 non-negotiable demands, and the White House is not just rewriting visa norms, it is reshaping the future of global education in America. Now, Trump administration has barred the Ivy League school from enrolling any foreign students, leaving the future of both the university and its international students in limbo. Harvard student exchange and visitor program status has been revoked on the charges that they promote violence and anti-Semitism. However, the United States federal judge has now issued a temporary restraining order against an effort to prevent Harvard University from enrolling foreign students. While this may serve as a temporary relief for these foreign students, it appears that the US president is not ready to back down just yet.
Well, we're taking a look at a lot of things, and as you know, billions of dollars has been paid to Harvard. How ridiculous is that? Billions. And they have $52 billion as an endowment. They have $52 billion, and this country is paying billions and billions of dollars and then gives student loans, and they have to pay back the loans. So Harvard's going to have to change its ways. And how can somebody that can't add or has very basic skills, how do they get into Harvard? Why are they there? And then you see those same people picketing and screaming at the United States and screaming at, you know, they're anti-Semitic or they're something. We don't want troublemakers here. But how do people that can't, when Harvard comes out with a statement that they're going to teach some of their students remedial math, that's basic math, that's not the deal.
Now, remember, Donald Trump has been on a warpath against Harvard ever since his second term began. He had been critical of the university for allowing anti-Israel and pro-Palestine protests at the peak of the war between two countries. Let's take you through the charges that have now been leveled by the Trump administration against the Ivy League school. Now, however, what is Harvard exactly being accused of? One of the charges is that there is perpetuating unsafe environment. Also another charge that talks about the campus which seems to be hostile to Jewish students in particular. There are other charges that it says that it promotes pro-Hamas sympathies and also employs racist diversity equity policies as well, which is unacceptable. Another charge that has been leveled which says that there is refusal to provide record of foreigners, especially when it comes to the students that have been enrolled with the university, and also saying that there are certain ties with the Chinese Communist Party. However, Donald Trump has also given now a 72-hour deadline to Harvard before the US court stepped in, and he threatened permanent action if they don't fulfill those demands. So what exactly are these demands that have been made by the US administration that according to them are non-negotiable? One of the demands is records of the illegal activity of non-immigrants. They are now filing for that. Also records of dangerous activity by non-immigrants, if any, that also needs to be filed and recorded. Documents also suggesting of any threats by non-immigrants and the records of the deprivation of rights involving of non-immigrants. Also seeking as far as disciplinary records of the non-immigrants as well, and evidence of protest involving non-immigrants. And that is exactly when it comes to the ground situation in Harvard has now been evolving drastically. So let's get in a word from Pradeep and Sabyasachi, who are joining us live. Good morning to both of you. Pradeep, the situation that has been happening in the United States, we are speaking of a prestigious university, but as far as the foreign students are concerned, what happens to them? Because it also affects Indian students. Now they have been given an ultimatum. Either leave the country, exactly then what do we do? Because it comes to their visas, their life and their academic career is still, it's moving like a pendulum. Where exactly do they go?
Yes, you are Amita, absolutely right. Because for the mistake of some people, handful of people, that you can't punish each and every student, because there are many scholars, including that from India, about 729 of them. They are pursuing their academic career, and they are there for the academic reasons only. They have nothing to do with anti-Semitism or any kind of promoting any kind of hatred, because they want to pursue their academic career, and that career will be completely jeopardized. And that's one of the reasons that Harvard University had filed a suit, and finally, a federal judge has given some kind of a relief and blocked Trump administration from going ahead with this proposal, because Trump administration is saying that in the last few days there had been several protests against the Jews, and there were protests in favor of Hamas as well as in favor of Gaza. So they somewhere feel that the university had been encouraging and emboldening such elements, and because of which the atmosphere was unsafe in the university, and that's why they have taken the decision that the students from outside should not be enrolled. And a 72-hour ultimatum was given. So finally, the university was left with no other option but to file a lawsuit in this case. And now the federal judge has given some kind of a relief, because they said that it is going to cause an irreparable loss to the university. So where Harvard University is concerned, they are saying that we are totally dependent on international students, because every year we are enrolling scholars from different parts of the world. And
Yes.
Harvard University is known for that. But you're absolutely right, because a handful of people had been carrying out this activity, and university had not been taking action against them. But for those handful of people, you can't punish each and every student, because they are very serious students, because they are very scholars, especially from India. They are there for their academic career. They have nothing to do with any kind of anti-Semitism or promoting any kind of a terror-related activity or being pro-Hamas. So in such a case, I think the Trump government had to understand certain things, because that
So
way
both sides
it will be
loggerheads. Is it a fight which is political in nature, or is it a fight which is ideological in nature? Let's talk about the Indian students, because their academic career, which is now at risk, who will be suffering the most in this tussle between Trump and Howard. Now, presently, the university houses nearly 7,000 foreign national students, out of which 788 are Indians. They are just one option in front of them exactly as to find another place in another university, or they completely leave the country altogether. So exactly what happens them as far as when it comes to their future of the students as Howard is concerned. Let's in the meantime speak of when it comes to many of these enrollment that has now taken place, the crackdown on campus wokeness that has now been said. Indian students in Howard, right from the years of 2018 to 2019, they were around 624. From the year 2019 to 2020, the number was around 659. Next year, 2020-21, it went up, came down rather to 513. Then it went up to 613 next year. In the year 22-23, the number went up to 816. Then next year, it went up to 824. And right now, as far as when it comes to the students who are currently enrolled, the Indian students which are enrolled in Harvard University stand at 788. So naturally, when we speak of the Harvard University, exactly what happens with all of the students there, is there a say, Sabya, that we can also speak of what happens from here on? But when we talk about as far as reactions that have been coming in, let's play them out first, because Harvard University has also fired back against this new federal directives targeting international students. Let's listen in.
The lawsuits are attackable. It's absolutely clear that the Trump administration is breaking the law, including the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, that the government can't impose restrictions on speech. That's exactly what they tried to do in the ultimatum that they delivered in April. The ultimatum was so absurd that Harvard had no choice but to reject it. It would have amounted to turning Harvard into Trump University.
Back home in India, the Congress has dragged the Prime Minister into the conversation, with Congress MP Jairam Ramesh saying that India has always benefited from American universities, but the Modi government has now remained mute spectator amid Trump's continuous assaults on universities. He further went on to say that it is the Congress that stands with the affected Indian students. Let's get in a word from Sabyasachi now. Sabyasachi, as far as when it comes to the future of the Indian students, the scholars at particular risk, exactly the option that they have before them, and will the Indian government react as far as what's happening within the United States of America? Of course, this is their internal issue, but it also has the Indian side to it when it comes to over 700 of the students that are enrolled in Harvard.
Well, that's right. See, it is an internal issue of the country, but on the other side, there are around 800 Indian students who are said to be affected by the decision that has been taken by the Trump administration. And under these circumstances, the Indian government has taken cognizance of this matter. And very soon, the Ministry of External Affairs is going to issue a statement regarding this. But on the other hand, the Congress party has dragged Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the government into this. In fact, the Congress alleges that time and again the Indian government has been on the direct attack line of Trump assault time and again, and the government of India has just turned into a mute spectator. Remember, Congress time and again has been dragging Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the government, whether it is on the tariff controversy or now latest being the Trump administration decision to revoke Harvard's authority to enroll foreign students. Now, the Congress party says that they stand with the Indian students and the government has to come out strongly against Trump administration regarding this particular decision that they have taken.
Well, can India comment and can other countries also comment who have their students studying and enrolled in Harvard? Is it just one university, or a similar line would be also followed in other prestigious universities? What exactly option do they have before them? Well, this is a situation that has been dynamically evolving in the United States of America. Pradeep and Sabya will come back to you. Let's in the meantime move on and talk about India, which has given Pakistan a blood